everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge podcast. We got some brand new news for you today, straight out of California. They are literally changing the game out there. Demi Lovato and Governor Gavin Newsom have signed into law a recent bill that affords kids 15% of their earnings, which we'll talk about it. It's a good start, and we're going to talk about who it affects, and we're going to talk about how the legislation works and how this is likely going to now be adopted all over the U.S. because it's happening now in Illinois and in California. Imagine this happens in Utah or Tennessee. Uh-oh! Let's go. So the new law, I've got my notes here. The new law in California, they signifies a legislative step towards protecting child influencers, similar to how the child actors have been protected under the Coogan law. 25% of gross earnings under the Coogan law act, 15% of the child's gross earnings must be set aside in a block trust account, which can only be accessed by the child when they reach 18 and 21 in some scenarios. An additional 10%. While the law only requires 15% to be set aside, many contracts in the entertainment industry, particularly those under union agreements like SAG-AFTRA, often stipulated an additional 10% to be put into a separate account for taxes, fees, and other expenses. This means, in practice, 25% of the child's gross earnings might be set aside. That's Coogan. So, legislative action. Governor Gavin Newsom signed measures into law requiring parents and guardians who profit from their children's appearances on online content, particularly vlogs, and that's Instagram, that's TikTok, that's YouTube, to set aside a portion of these earnings for the children. This follows in the footsteps of similar legislation in Illinois, showing a growing trend to recognize the commercial exploitation of children online. Now, it is recognizing the commercial exploitation, and finally, we know that exists. We know that it's a thing, it happens, for sure. And so this recognizes it legally that it is exploitation, but they don't want to stop it, right? They just want to make sure kids can get the money out of it, which is a step which I don't think goes far enough, and I don't think 15% is anywhere near enough, and I don't think it should be for the Coogan law. I think a child who's acting should get 85%, and the parents, the managers, the people who have done all the things for the kid should get the 15%. It is mind-blowing to me that the person who's actually working gets the tiniest amount guaranteed, whereas like parents like Macaulay Culkin's parents or the Coogan law, which is based on an actor, right? These a lot of their parents, I think, spend most of the money, even some of the Coogan money, right? 15% to the kid who's actually the star is bananas to me. Like, it should be opposite. So that means that the parent gets 85% of this kid's earnings. What? Like, does that? I don't get it. I don't get it. And maybe I'm being naive. I don't know. But even a manager, max, gets 20% generally, right? A good manager will get 20% of, they're shopping for jobs, they get all the connections. I understand that managers make a lot of money because they're one of the most important people in Hollywood for these actors, right? And parents are sometimes managers. So I could understand 20% to the parents. But 15% to the actual star is crazy to me. That to be said, they are saying that this is, because we do balance the scales between a child actor and a child that's on a family vlog by saying, well, the actor is acting, right? There's a craft. There's strict stipulations for what they can do on set, how many hours they can work, the education they have to do. Million things are put in place for the safety of child actors, okay? It's still absolutely exploiting children, like 100% it is. It's just not as bad because on the other side, you got family vlogger kids who are showing you their real life. You know what they're allergic to. You've seen every time they go to the dentist or the doctor. You know when they start their period, their first kiss, their first dance, their first date. You know everything about this child, their favorite things, their favorite foods. You know what they look like. You know what schools they go to. You know what vacations they go on, maybe some that are coming up. Okay, it's completely different. One is acting, you don't know a ton about their personal life. One is their entire personal life is fed to you for free, right? So there's a big balancing issue. Now, this legislation is great because it's a good start and it's recognizing exploitation. And that's recognized by law is a good thing, okay? I just don't think it goes far enough. Because if child actors are getting Coogan and then they're getting education laws and everything put in place, why are not kids that are in vlogs? Right? They're not. Because a lot of them do go to school. A lot of them do homeschool. But I don't think it's registered. A lot of these parents who are influencers are doing unschooling. And I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to do that. If you don't know what unschooling is, it's basically like playtime as kids and like learning on a farm. And I don't think there's anything super wrong with unschooling as long as you're also learning math and English and shit that you need. Okay, purpose and background. This law aims to update protections similar to those established by the original Coogan law in 1939, which was enacted after child star Jackie Coogan discovered his earnings were nearly depleted by his parents. The new legislation updates this concept for the digital age where children can become internet celebrities or kidfluencers without ever setting foot on a traditional movie set. The mechanics of this law. A percentage of the earnings derived from social media content must be deposited into a trust fund or account for the child. Accessible when they reach adulthood, this ensures that children who contribute significantly to their families or parents' income through social media appearances are not financially exploited. So some of the biggest child stars are not actually in California. There are some large ones. There's notably Royalty Family, who I hate. And it's an ongoing case where the real father of Ferran is actually trying to be his dad and wants to visit with him and loves his kid, and the parents are keeping him from it. It's insanity. They make literally millions of dollars probably a month, and now they're going to have to put it aside, which they might be, maybe, I don't know, but they might not be either. Okay, and so now this is forcing it, and this isn't retroactive, which is so sad, because wouldn't that have been amazing? Because then the LeBrants would have been forced before they moved to Tennessee to put away probably millions of dollars for Everly. All these, the Weiss life lives out there. We've got, I can name the Ace family, and they probably spent all their money. Their kids are not going to see a penny of that cash. It's all going to be gone by the time, because they're not famous anymore and everybody hates them. Oh my gosh, there's so many California family influencers. Jess fam. How many people, hands up, if you think you're going to see a whole bunch of blogs being like, why we're moving from California? It doesn't matter where you move, people. This law, now that California has adopted this thing, you watch, is going to catch like wildfire. And this is not a blue or red law. This is not a conservative or a liberal law. This is a bipartisan law I think everybody can get behind. It's giving kids what they're owed, what they deserve. They work for this, and they are exploited for it. And how many kids do you honestly think that we talk about specifically on this channel are going to come out when they're 18 and have a huge nest egg of cash? Look at 8 Passengers. Do you think those kids have a huge thing of cash? Remember, she pulled $80,000 out because she was trying to run away? Remember that? Those kids aren't going to see a penny of the millions of dollars 8 Passengers made. A lot of these families spend all the money before the kids even turn 18, because by the time the kids age out of being the kids in the vlogs, these parents, the channel is over and done with, and parents deplete all their cash. You think Daddy of 5 gave his kids any money? You think the Shaytards are giving the kids any money? I don't know, maybe. All I say is that they all spend it before the kids would even have a chance to grow in adulthood to go. You know, some of them are like, well, I'm giving my kid, fame so that they can use this and make money. And it's true, it will probably do that, but some it won't. And most of these kids don't have the ability to go on and do good content or create good content. Some do, right? There's those twin girls or whatever, they're having babies and stuff like that. It does work for them, sort of. But if you look at like Alex Doherty, for example, or Alex Petit from Crazy Pieces, these guys are out there trying to make content and nobody's watching it. Nobody cares. Right? So the odds of these kids actually coming out with these huge accounts and making real money is very, very, very low. Okay? Just like anybody on social media. It doesn't guarantee you that you're going to go on and do big things. It does not guarantee that. Reactions and support. The law has received support from various quarters, including figures like Demi Lovato, who has spoken about the need for such protections due to personal experiences. There's a broad consensus on the need for child performers in any medium to be safeguarded against financial exploitation, reflecting broader societal concerns about child privacy and exploiting. The implications for parents and children. So for parents, this means they must treat their child's online activity as a professional endeavor if monetized. Basically, now it becomes child labor. And hopefully the law bites onto that as child labor laws, because it is the Wild West right now, unless you're in Illinois and California, where you can force your child to work in this content, not pay them a penny, and force them to do it. For children, this law provides a legal backbone to ensure they are compensated for the contributions, what might be considered family or parental enterprise. Again, I don't think it goes far enough when it doesn't say things like, also, now there's child labor laws, because they are working, right? Children on sets have a strict set of laws, and if they don't adhere to them, they could be sued, they could be shut down, they could be fined. This doesn't have enough teeth. It just gives kids money, right? And maybe some of the parents are already doing that. So it's okay, and it's a good start. It's just not good enough. Cultural and legal evolution. This legislation marks a cultural shift in recognizing online content creation as a form of employment for children. That's crazy that you say that, but then there's no next step to be like, so now that they are employed and we're recognizing it, these parents now have to adhere to child labor laws, which it doesn't say that they do. Maybe that's next. Why am I doing Instagram fingers? That's how mad I am. And here's a Yahoo News article about it. This is a quick little video that we're going to react to here. I want you to see this. It's pretty important.
I'm really excited to share with you guys what it's like to be a momfluencer.
As you like, share, and send the latest viral videos or meme with your friends, coworkers, and family.
Do you think that this is a good Mother's Day gift?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate this person. I already don't like her. I'm pretty sure she was part of Mom Tok or something and got called out for being swinging with them and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh.
You might have come across Miranda McWhorter.
I hate McWhorter. Her last name is literally McWhorter, spelt whore. Like the McDonald's version of a whore. Okay? McWhorter. It sucks.
Get rid of me using a face.
I hate influencers. And this, every time you do this, I hope an angel loses his wings. Actually, I don't hope that. I hope an angel gains his wings because we need more angels.
Coogan products only. Did you say mascara?
Mascara.
See, people who use their children in ads can get effed. And I think they're using this woman because she probably lives in California.
Yeah, good job.
Thanks, McWhorter.
She's known as a content creator, a TikToker,
A douchebag, loser face. That's the other version of that.
but her favorite title, Mom. In a world where
No, her favorite title is influencer.
social media stars become household names, she's part of an online community that some people know as momfluencers.
Or douchebag McWhorter faces.
And her followers, more than 1 million of them, some are downright obsessed.
There's definitely a stereotype when it comes to
These are not my hair.
momfluencer. Alright, draft that bad boy. I think it's a great way to be able to be
Dude, what's with your voice? Stay off the T.
at home with your kids
McWhorter.
while also bringing in income for your family. I really did find some purpose aside from motherhood in it.
Yeah, see? More purpose than motherhood, right? The purpose is to be famous and get accolades online, likes, but again, none of these people ever, and maybe someday will, when the shit hits the fan, because it will. Something's going to happen to one of these kids one day, right? They never talk about the dangers of it. They're just like, well, they should be paid. Well, also, they shouldn't be on there ever, is my stance, right? If I ruled the world, no kids would be on the internet ever. And if it was on, you would get demonetized. You would be shadow banned at the very least, right? If you're using kids in your content, shadow banned at the very least. Right? We don't want that. They shadow ban people for political discourse, but they won't shadow ban child exploiters. Isn't that crazy?
There's also a dark side to all of this. Miranda unknowingly got pulled into one of the biggest scandals in momfluencing.
Mom Tok.
Oh, everything about it was overwhelming, and I honestly did not think I would make it through that.
Shut up. Will Mom Tok survive this?
There's a controversial corner of the internet on which everyone has an opinion, known as momfluencing, and it might have infiltrated your algorithm. Some women have followings in the tens of thousands or even in the millions, sharing tips and tricks to parenting.
And it's always shitty. None of them are good. There's a couple. Sorry, there are a couple. And the ones who don't use their kids, some of them are good. Let's be real. Like, I've been influenced for certain recipes. I'm like, that's cool. But like, for the most part, they're just like regurgitating other people's content.
When moms are scrolling Instagram at 2 a.m., they are being sold a completely unrealistic version of motherhood and a lot of very expensive mom products.
Mm-hmm. And this is one thing, another reason why I rally against these assholes, because that is dangerous. And it's not only dangerous to you and me and normal people, but we're adults and we could be like, okay, I don't have to be influenced by this. I can be smart enough not to. But some people are not smart enough. And enough of this shit bombards your brain. It's going to start breaking down barriers eventually. It's the younger generation I'm worried about, that these people are super influential. If you ever see young people in these comment sections and like people like Taylor Swift with like massive amounts of influence over young people, that is a ton of power for the next generation of people. And these people show you something that is fake and is unattainable. I think that's bad for mental health.
Posting everything from their kids' hair routines to back to school hacks, monetizing
You're a
the
hack.
mommy lifestyle, pushing products, brand deals, and partnerships to their followers. We have been loving
And again, the reason why brands do this is because brands don't have to adhere to all, like, they don't have to make a commercial, which then it has to adhere to SAG-AFTRA and like hire kids that are in the union and pay all these other things. They just pay this influencer through their management company, and that's it. That's all they have to do. And you get paid more when you show your kids.
That's only growing, with so many wanting in on the act.
Man, do they have a momfluencer, like, get-together thing? Somebody tell me, because I'm going to the next one. I'm going. Man in the street, you guys down? Oh man, I'd like to go to that. I'd like to just be like, I'd be like Voldemort there, you know? Oh, imagine the uncomfortable looks I'd get.
I mean, historically, there has been a sort of typical mom influencer that brands flocked to. A white woman, typically
Thirst trap.
late 20s, early 30s, multiple children, a lot of blondes.
A lot of Botox, a lot of butt lifts, a lot of fake boobs, a lot of lip filler, a lot of plastic surgery, a lot of fake hair extensions, a lot of fake everything. A lot of fake nails, a lot of fake actions, a fake family. Most of them have the worst marriages known to man, and they pretend like they have a good one. It's all fake. And you know what? The kids suffer the most because of that.
And very beautiful. Beautiful in a, like, TV beauty way. So many of
Some, let's be real. Some of them have huge followings, and you're like, K potato.
the original mom influencers come
Sounds like a good family vlog. K potato. Welcome.
from
Welcome to K Potato. Today we're talking about how I look like a potato.
mom and faith. And there's a lot of reasons for that.
May I ask you to join the conversation by participating on the internet?
This is the beginning of the Mormon mom monopoly and influencing.
That's why I say if this law enters Utah, holy shit, you watch out. Who is the main dude there in Utah that would get a bill like this signed in? Somebody tell me what his name is. Because you know it's a guy. It's 100% a dude. Okay? Let's get pressure on that senator or congressman, whoever it is. Governor. We need the governor of Utah to sign this in the bill in Utah. We need to pressure that. Maybe that's the next campaign, Demi Lovato. Oh my gosh, this would change the face of family vlogging forever if Utah had this in. Because you know that those people are pressured by their church to go out there and do this. They give money to church. But I guarantee you, like 8 Passengers, like Bonnie Holing, none of them are putting money away for the children. They likely don't think that their kids deserve it because of the nature of the religion. Okay, the kids, get out and make it on your own. We want you to do that. And there's, again, nothing wrong with wanting your kid to get out and make it on their own. But if they're in your content working and making you money, they're owed money. Okay? And if they're forced legally to do it, how many do you think would stay in Utah? You think Kira would stay in Utah? Can't move to California. Where are you going to go next? Again, once it breaks down state by state, Utah is the next place we need to force this governor to pay attention and to get this in his eyes so that he can sign something like this into law. We have Illinois, we have California doing it. All you have to do is be like, look what they did, do the same thing, and pressure that governor to do it, right? However we do that. Quit Clicking Kids is an Instagram. Go message them. Figure who this guy is. I'll make a video towards him too. I'll put everything behind it. I will help. I don't have much influence in there, but I'll do it. I'll make videos about it. Utah, Tennessee, Florida. Let's effing go. Sorry.
Church elder and faith leader M. Russell Ballard speaking to Brigham
Shut up, M. Russell Ballard, you asshole.
Young University's Hawaii campus graduates over 15 years ago.
Share the
This guy's dead and floating in the outer darkness.
gospel and explain in simple, clear terms
Like, why is the thing so high?
the message of the restoration.
The Mormon
Even though he said that, he probably is, if he's still alive, sees them today. He's like, no, not like that.
religion really does emphasize journaling and chronicling your life. And when the internet and blogging came about, they encouraged women to take advantage of blogs to try to spread the Mormon faith.
You can start a blog in minutes and begin sharing what you know to be true.
And this is why the Mormon Church doesn't speak up on things like Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and Ruby Frank and all these crazy influencers out there, not doing anything good for the Mormon Church. That's for damn sure. But they don't care. Any press is good press. They honestly believe that. Otherwise, they should have spoken up and they should excommunicate some of these people. It would make them give them a little bit more credibility, but they won't. They want them out there saying, look at our numbers. Look at how perfect these lives are. Because as much as it's all fake, it still tricks millions of people. And so if people see that life, they're like, well, what's this life all about? Well, we're Mormon. Well, then I want to be Mormon. No joke. That's influencing to bring people into Mormonism, which all it does is serves to pad the pockets of the upper echelon of the Mormon cult. Okay, that's all it does. They want more people in because they force them to tithe, basically. You can't get your temple recommend unless you're tithing. And if you stop tithing, your temple recommend gets taken away. You have to pay to be in this cult. That's how that works.
And so a lot of women took this on. A lot of Mormon women started blogging about their lives. And those blogs turned into influencing Instagram accounts. It doesn't hurt that a lot of these Mormon moms are beautiful and white and blonde.
I do gotta say this. Like, Mormon women are probably the most beautiful women in any religion. I'm not joking. Like, they are. I'll say that. And even before I was doing this, I remember like being in theology in college and stuff like that, studying different religions like Mormons and Catholics and stuff like that. And it always came up. And like, Mormon women are absolutely beautiful because they're, and it's like, it's kind of sad the way it happens because they are required to be. Isn't that crazy? And a lot of them have eating disorders because of it, and they get fake bodies completely to adhere to this principle. And it's not frowned upon at all, but it's frowned upon to drink hot beverages. It's so crazy to me. They are beautiful, but it's sad the reason why they are.
And they have a lot of children.
But some of these picture-perfect lives online are not what they're cracked up to be. The big business of influencing going hand in hand with the scandals and controversies behind the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So your followers can turn against you overnight, and it can literally happen at the drop of a dime.
Well, that's if you do something super shitty, like torture your children. That could be a reason.
It's a double-edged sword to have the massive following. You're not just opening yourself up to that community that you once wanted to connect with. You're opening yourself up to all the trolls. Friday night.
They're only trolls because they disagree with you.
Looking right, feeling better than I usually.
One of the most salacious headlines in mom influencing, the Mormon Mom Tok communities.
It's weird because if you look at all these women right here in the first iteration with Ruby Frank, or with Taylor Frankie Paul, none of those women are in the show, I don't think. None of those women end up in the show. It's just the later Mom Tok ones. It's weird.
Scandal.
Yeah, I know me.
See, do you know any of those? Are any of those girls in the new iteration? They're not. I think once the swinging happened, they all pieced out. They don't want a part of it. Those are the ones that probably ended up swinging.
Very famous online friend group of Mormon.
I mean, what's the point of, like, I'm just trying to be funny here, but what is actually the point of swinging with women like this? They all look the damn same. That one looks just like your wife, so why? They look the same.
Mormon moms in Utah who would get together to film videos for their socials.
Yeah, those are definitely Mormons.
Miranda quickly became
see, there she is.
a part of this crew. At the heart of the group was Taylor Frankie Paul, a mom of two who seemed to have it all. Their videos continuously going viral, with followers joking and questioning if...
And why? Because they can't dance for shit. Not like I can, but I'm saying, what? Have you actually seen Instagram dancers out there who are really good at what they do? Ugh!
The women were sister wives.
I really enjoyed the time that I spent with the girls
With her husband?
that I made content with, and
So if McWhorter's husband is the one that Taylor Frankie Paul cheated with, if you saw the interview on Nick Viall Files, basically she admitted on camera that it was SA. Like, it could have been R. Like, that's how she's like, I was completely almost blackout drunk, and then I went there, and then we did stuff, and I woke up and I was hurting down there. That's what she said. And I think I could be wrong, and a lot of people are conjecturizing that it is her husband who did it. Now, there are other husbands that could have done it as well. It has not yet come out who it is. I don't think technically, just legally, but I think the reason that she's not in this thing is because likely they were actually swinging, or it was her husband that did that. I don't know. I could be wrong. Paul explained that she and her ex-husband were in an open relationship with her former best friend and her husband, though she carefully avoided naming names. It wasn't even a conversation when it started. I think we were all drinking and partying, she recalled, and then the guys were like, you girls should make out, it's hot. And we were like, okay, it's hot, so we made out, and that's what I feel like I had done that in my younger years, so it wasn't a big deal to me. She's basically bisexual, but she can't say that because she's Mormon. According to Paul, the same thing happened at the next party, and then it was like, let's take off our clothes and do lingerie pictures together while making out. It just escalated, she said, later revealing that they would play blindfolded spin the bottle in which husbands would kiss her and she'd have to guess who it was. Paul said their dynamic with the one couple lasted a while, with the girls kissing and the husbands touching the other wives. It wasn't until a year later they invited another couple into their escapades. Me and my husband started to escalate with this couple, blah, blah, blah. Paul's husband then suggested they start swinging with strangers rather than people they were friends with, but she didn't want to stop. Instead, she ended up catching feelings for one of the other men, possibly this guy. It was kind of like 3 of the 6 caught feelings, Paul added. I had an emotional affair. We were all texting each other weirdly anyways. It was just a weird thing. While the content creator hasn't named anyone specifically, Secret Lives of Mormon co-stars have all denied partaking in swinging. Internet sleuths believe they know who one of the couples were involved with, Paul and her ex-husband. Braden Rowley admitted to being part of the group and hinted at being the man Paul cheated on her husband with. In August episode of Only Dad's podcast, Per She Knows, he and his wife McKenna Rowley split up shortly after Paul outed the swinging scandal to the world. Braden also said he learned not to have an affair again and not to do it with the TikToker. So it could, his podcast co-host Chase McWhorter, who split from his wife Miranda McWhorter in 2023, also confessed to being in the group. Plus, Paul referred to Miranda as her best friend in an April 2020 Instagram post. However, both McKenna and Miranda have not confirmed whether or not they were involved. So it's her or the other one. Something tells me that she's on here because it, you know what I'm saying?
Last year, Taylor sent
And those kids are going to have to deal with that.
shockwaves through her following, announcing that she was getting a divorce. The reason? She's
Look at these cucks. Oh my God.
said she and her husband had been involved in what she called soft swinging, but that she took it too far.
You don't like fully switch, if that makes sense, and go all the way.
You switch.
And
If you ingest someone's bodily fluids, it's just as bad.
to be honest, I did. We had an agreement, like all of us, and I did step out of that agreement.
But I will come to her defense a little bit, because after she came out and told us what really happened, she did break the rules, but it sounded like that the other guy took advantage of her while she was blackout drunk. And I don't care who you are, what kind of swinging you're doing. If there's a person who's blackout drunk, you do not engage in anything with that person. There's no way that they can consent to that. I'm sorry. That is out of the question. If someone is blackout drunk, you do not sleep with them. I consider that R.
And the internet
Doesn't matter what kind of life you're leading. Any guy who would take advantage of someone like that who is blackout drunk and do crazy things that it hurts them to a degree, you should be in prison. So it sounds like they divorced, and this doesn't sound like it's over is what I'm saying. And the show might use that to bring this other person down. Like, it might be used for that. That guy right now is shitting his pants, whoever he is.
went
When she dropped that on Nick Vile Files or whatever it's called, you know that guy shat his pants.
wild. Some fans from all around the world started speculating about who the other swingers involved were.
No one was innocent. Everyone has hooked up with like everyone in the situation.
Internet gossip accounts and Reddit threads dredging up social media speculation, breaking down the Utah mom drama. All members of the group targeted by the speculation quickly denied their involvement.
Yep.
At the time, Miranda
Did your parents ever not want you to be with your husband because you all broke up so much?
issued her own denial, going live on her TikTok with her husband addressing the rumors.
We had nothing to do with the divorce.
Mm-hmm. Liar, liar, wearing white on a white wall.
We never soft
As soon as you see an influencer put a white shirt on and go talk about something that like they're like the drama of everything, they're lying to you.
smacked with anybody.
We reached out to Taylor for comment and didn't hear back.
Taylor is not going to say it, and unless she's coerced into putting this guy in prison, because out of guilt and Mormon guilt and everything else, and her mom probably too, they're like, no, you made this choice, it's all on you. But again, someone's got to be, to a degree, I know that she went there and everything, but if she is saying that she was blacked out drunk, and we've seen her that way, that is not right. I don't care. I know Taylor, that I don't really hold against Taylor, that whole thing, the cheating thing, because they were all doing it. It's the thing where she threw chairs at her kid that I hold her accountable for, but that she should get justice for.
I always thought that I was someone that like had really tough skin. I didn't really care what people thought.
And now, a year later, in her first ever TV interview she's given since the scandal broke, Miranda's trying to move on. But
I'm sure she is.
is moving on ever possible when
Because the issue is that Taylor went to their house to go there, and her husband did stuff, and she was at the house. So Allegedly.
You have over 1 million followers online scrutinizing your every move.
Don't ever call these people good moms, okay? Don't ever get... And that's one thing that pisses me off so much about these people's content. You go to their comment sections and they're like, you're a good mom. What proves to you that they are good moms? What evidence do you have? That they show you their perfectly cleaned house that was cleaned by a cleaner? That their kids are being taken care of by a nanny in the background? Or their parents? What proves to you they're a good mom? Because they show you 10 seconds of them being a good mom by making waffles? None of these people... If you are on the internet full time, and you're an influencer and you exploit children, there is no possible way that you can be a good mom. Do you understand? Let me repeat it for you, for those in the back. You ready? If you are a narcissist asshole who spends your life online and sells every moment of privacy of your children's lives and yours online, there is no possible way for you to be a good mom. You're not a good mom. You are a shitty mom. Okay? We got that? All right.
Somebody likes or dislikes me because of something they heard or what they are perceiving, not because of they actually know who I truly am.
Shut up.
I think that's what's so hard, because I'm just like, when you...
She sits here lying to you, and if there might be an agreement or a non-disclosure agreement or something in place, she feels confident enough to come here and say this. But if Taylor Frankie Paul actually spoke out, that shit's over for Hoarder.
Do you feel like you are completely out of control in any situation in life? Obviously, it's a pretty scary feeling for sure.
What Miranda wants you to know is that there's a
Gives a shit what Miranda wants you to know.
real person behind the handle when some keyboard warriors take it too far.
I experienced my first real panic attack.
You know you can solve those things, right? You know it. I hate when they get on. I had a panic. Get off the internet then! Done! All that stress is gone!
Which I'd never had before, just like rocking back and forth.
If you're innocent, why are you having panic attacks? Right? If you've never experienced them before and all this drama was happening because you felt like you're going to be exposed, that's why you're having a panic attack. Because you felt like you're going to be exposed. And thank God Taylor's dumb or smart or one of the whatever. But she hasn't exposed you. And she should totally do it. That's the reason you're having panic attacks. And you're admitting something without admitting it.
With hyperventilating.
She says it took her months to heal, and now she's
Shut up!
hoping to reclaim her narrative.
I'm really proud of myself for how far I've come.
You're stupid.
Learned so much from these situations, and I know for a fact I'm a better person because of it.
You're not. You're not a better person.
Our thanks to Janae. You can catch the full episode, Mom Talk Posting Perfection, on Impact by Nightline. It's streaming now on Hulu. New episodes.
If you have Hulu, go watch that. I'd like to watch that. I can't get it here, but go watch that whole thing. Very, very interesting. Here's another quick video about this whole thing. This is from KCAL News.
Governor Newsom teamed up with singer and former child star Demi Lovato to sign a new law protecting the earnings of child influencers.
This is essentially the Coogan law for the digital age.
Well, under the new labor law, child content creators on all platforms will now get a trust fund for their earnings that they can access when they turn 18. Now, the law builds on the Jackie Coogan law, which is named after one of the first child stars in American film. Coogan ending up suing his parents for stealing his earnings.
Again, so there's a great start. Not good enough. Not enough money. I don't know why Coogan hasn't been changed, considering the amount of money that people are going to need to live and retire as they get older. It's actually insane to me that the kids only get the tiniest percentage, even though they should get the lion's share. If you think about families like LeBrant family, they're not famous without Everly at all. Like, most of their money, Ace family, their kids. Most of these families don't exist without their kids, and their kids, I understand that a lot of them have lots of kids, and it should just be split evenly. Be like, hey, if you're all in a vlog, and split it evenly. That's it. How many parents actually think are going to hear to this too? Like, it's still going to be the Wild West, or they're just going to move away into another state that allows them to do whatever they want. You mark my words. If we get this done in Utah, or they get it done, whoever gets this done in Utah, you are going to see a mass exodus of family vloggers from Utah. And that's why we should do it. So this is from the New York Post. New California law requires parents to save money earned by child influencers protected from financial abuse. But not abuse, not exploitation. You still can exploit them, just have to pay them for it now. Oh, thanks. New California law, blah, 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 blah. Gavin Newsom signed the bill beside pop star from former child actress Demi Lovato. I didn't know she was a child actress. I guess they all are, right? On Thursday, that mandates parents and guardians to place a percentage of money made by minors on the web into trust accounts. The government additionally signed a second piece of legislation that expands the state's Coogan law, a long-standing protection for child actors that includes minors employed as online content creators. So this basically is the Coogan law. The law required 15% of children and teens earning to be placed into trust, untouched till their 18th birthday. These protections will ensure minors who perform online content are protected from financial abuse. Now, I wonder if it gets into the depths of like if they're in the video for 2 seconds, if they're in the video for 2 minutes, if they are in the ad. I don't know how it gets in. I think it should just be like whatever they make, it's 15% of that. I hope that's what it does. And I hope it has teeth. In old Hollywood, child actors were exploited. In 2024, it's now child influencers, Newsom said in a statement. Today, that modern exploitation ends through 2 new laws to protect young influencers on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and other social media platforms. The Golden State's legislation follows that of Illinois, where legislators amended the state's child labor law to include children featured in parents' or guardians' social media accounts. The bill specifically states that children under the age of 16 should receive 15% of an influencer's gross earnings. Awesome. Of the influencer's gross earnings if they appear in at least 30% of monetized content online. Okay. 30% is a high number. Moms, dads, or minors must be responsible for earnings. Okay, they're responsible for it, but I mean, all this is give kids teeth to sue, but if the money's gone, what are you going to do? It's going to claim bankruptcy. I also think that's not enough bite. So 30% of monetized content. So if they only put their kid in 29% of it, what's going to happen? Here's what's going to happen. They put all this shit in there. It shouldn't matter. If your kids show up in the vlog and you're a family vlog, it doesn't matter. Your kids should get it automatically. I don't care if it's 30%, if it's 5%, maybe 5. Let's say 5 and above. Let's say 5 and above, 5% above. They're saying 30%. So you know what's going to happen now, especially for those in California, is they're going to tell their editors or themselves are going to edit this kid into 29% of the video. So if it's a 20-minute video, it's going to be 5 minutes. Right? If it's a 30-minute video, it's going to be 22 minutes. Or so if it's a 30-minute video, it's going to be like 8 minutes. They're just going to follow and just use the loopholes in this law so they don't have to pay their children. And going forward, it's going to be very interesting to watch all these California people to see, once this takes place, I think it actually is taking place right now, if they change the amount of time that their children are in the vlog. And that's easy to watch. You watch the old stuff, compare it with the new stuff. Because all they're going to do is find loopholes. Because if it's one thing rich people know how to do is to find damn loopholes to pay them more money. They're using this. This is, again, there's not enough teeth in this thing. Okay, there's too many loopholes already, and I just read it in a damn article. Because, again, I have to say, hey, they were only in 5 minutes of the video, and it's a 20-minute video. That's not 30%. Okay. That's stupid. Sharing content has blown up as lucrative business online over the past several years, especially with the explosion of social media. Examples include family vlogs that document a family's day-to-day life, brand sponsorship campaigns that feature kids advertising clothing products. An influencer with more than 1 million followers can earn up to $20,000 for a single sponsored post. Yeah, or more. Those with under 100,000 followers can still earn as much as $4,000 for one sponsored post. Some parents have turned their children's lives into a career, she said. Yeah, a lot have. Social media has become the premium for getting your brand out to a large audience. Once blogging and Instagram and YouTube took off, now we have TikTok and so many more. People found it as a viable way to make either side hustle or a full-time compensation. I can't wait till TikTok's banned. Let's get it going. Brooke Raybould, a mother of 4 boys from Virginia, has amassed 700,000 followers following online sharing videos of her life as a mom. After just 2 years of posting, she's making more than 6 figures annually. It felt like I'd struck gold in some ways because I could be home with my kids, share my natural life, do some work for a pretty condensed period throughout the day and make a decent living. It's basically a dream. It is. These people struck gold. They did. That's no other best. Like Micah, liquid gold, baby. The mother said she thinks her work is similar to running a family business where everyone helps out. She said it's rare for one of her sons who are between the ages of 2 and 9 to be asked for help for more than 15 minutes, but she always asks if they're comfortable. Shut up. Get right. Kids can't give consent. You can't ask your kids consent because they can't give it. I tell them, mommy does this, we do this, I share it with other moms. And 700,000 strangers on the internet, you damn liar. I'm snarking on her videos. I hope F her. Chris Chin manages his 8-year-old son's YouTube channel, Kevin's Adventures, which has more than 733,000 followers. He said more than a source of income, he thinks their time on camera together is bonding. Shut up, F off. Chin likened monetizing Kevin's YouTube channel as being like parents who support their children in sports, except you're the one getting paid, Chin, not your kid. She's not really a YouTuber, she only has 1,000 on YouTube. Meet Brooke Raybould, that looks like everybody else on the internet. Oh, of course she's a Disney mom. Here's a little bit more detail here. More specifically, it requires that children age 16 and under be compensated if, within a 30-day period, they are in at least 30% of a video or online content for which the adult, whether a parent or caregiver, is being paid. See, they're saying, they're making another loophole here of a video, not of the overall amount of time on the internet of a video. So all you're going to do is see a parent say, okay, this is a 22-minute vlog. What is 29.9%? And they're going to do the math, and they're going to be strict with it. And they're going to cut that off anything that shows their kid for more than 30%. That's all they're going to do, man. That's all they're going to do. Raybold, who we're going to snark on, said she and her husband, who works full-time outside of the home, have created a financial compensation structure for their son's involvement in their social media content, but declined to share the details. That's convenient. Who else did that? Just Fam? Just Fam did that. While there's no law regulating family influencers in her home state of Virginia, Raybold said she can understand why there are growing calls for more regulation. I understand where it could go south, she said. I'm not to say that it's not necessary that people aren't looking at it and making sure, because you can have an ethical person no matter what you do, and we need certain bodies to make sure that people, you're not ethical. If you exploit children on the internet, you are not ethical. Shut your fucking mouth about being ethical, okay? You're not ethical. You are an abuser. So this Chin guy is a Canadian too, so we don't claim him. What an asshole. Jessica Maddox, a University of Alabama professor of digital media who studies social media platforms and culture, including influencers, previously told GMA that she hopes future legislation passed by Illinois or other states includes additional provisions like allowing a person of 18 to petition to have content of themselves removed. I think you can do that anyway through privacy concerns on YouTube. You can just say, I don't want myself on there, tell YouTube, and they'll remove it. It takes a lot of work, but you can get it done already. Amanda Klecker, Senior Vice President of Marketing and Franchise at Pocket.watch, a digital media company that manages some of the industry's biggest kid creators, including Ryan's World, said the company has made a conscious decision to not represent creators who show the behind the scenes of their kids' lives. That's bullshit. I don't care what Pocket Watch says. You are still exploiting children regardless of the background behind the scenes of their life. What kind of logic is that? We don't work with influencers just showing you very autobiographical. Okay, you're still exploiting children. Get wrecked. Pocket Watch, F off. Both Chin and Raybold told GMA that given their children have an online presence, they are diligent in being careful about what is shared. Oh, are you? If you both have over 700,000 followers, there's likely tens of thousands of predators watching your children. I don't care how careful you are. You cannot be too careful. And the only way to be careful enough is to not show them. Both have said that they've not experienced a privacy threat issue. I'm sure you'd tell us too if you did. And here's Family Vlogger Rule, page 57. I feel like if my kids ever decided they didn't want to be a part of it, and even if I decided to stop one day, I feel like it could pretty quickly just stop, she said. Yeah, could you? Such an asshole. Stop now. You're exploiting them now. Stop now. You know it's wrong. They're making legislation and laws against it. You know it's wrong. There's no excuse. Goldberg, whatever the hell your name is. What's her name? Raybold, I'm coming for your shit. Damn, I hate these people. All of them have the dumbest excuses. Anyway, all that to say, everybody, it's a start. Does it do anything? Not really. There are too many loopholes already, and it should be more like 10%, 5%. If you show up 5% of the vlog, give 30% to the kid. Because people come for the kids. Anytime the child is in a vlog, go look at any family vlogger, okay? Any of their channels. Randomize it, find one. Go look at their content. When the kids are not featured in the video, look at the view counts. Look at the likes. Look at everything that has to do with any of that channel. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Look at the difference, okay? When it's just the parents, it's almost nothing. When the kid's involved, it generally hikes by like sometimes hundreds of %, okay? It's insanity. And if it's like inappropriate, like dentists, their mouth is open on the thumbnail, they're in a bathing suit, or has to do their bra size or their periods, watch the numbers. Look at the numbers, okay? These parents are just going to find the damn loop. There's not enough teeth in this bill, okay? And again, they will find effing loopholes. That's what they'll do. So yes, it's a start, and I'm not trying to be super negative. I'm just telling you these people are snakes. If you can exploit a child, you're going to find ways to do it anyway. Okay, you're going to find ways to put the money in your own pocket. These people are not ethical. If you exploit children, you are a bad person. So you're not going to be like, well, now I'm a good person, going to give my kid money. No, you're not. You're spending it all before it even gets to them anyway. And now it's just starting. So half these kids who spent their life online, it doesn't really help them at all. I'm glad it's happening, though. I'm not trying to be too much of a negative Nancy. I'm not trying to rain on too many parades, but I'm just being realistic about this. It's really, really not enough. It's a good start, though. Thank God they're recognizing it. So let's put it there, okay? Everybody, take a deep breath. I got fired up in this one. I'm sorry, but this is really, really important stuff. And I just wish they would go further because they can. They could easily. It didn't need to be 30%. Could have been 5%. It could have been any number you wanted. You're making a law. What are you scared people are going to say? Well, 5%, that's not it. No one's going to care. The only people going to care are the people that you're putting the law against anyway. So who gives a shit what they say? So, sorry, I'm fired up about this one. You should be too. Let's figure out who the guy is in Utah. Let's get everybody who does this, quit clicking kids, Demi Lovato, start mass tweeting at these people. Let's go after I say go after in a nice way. Let's go and show him that he should be putting the same law in Utah, considering it's one of the biggest Wild West platforms for these people who do this. Utah should do it. Unless the Utah governor is Mormon, we have a shot. Okay? Let's do it. You guys are amazing, beautiful, and valuable. And now we can be in a fight together and fight for something that would be amazing. Yeah? I think we should try it. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you. You're amazing. I'll see you when I see you.